G'day guys, Sam here from Trade the Prosper. Today is Monday the 19th of February 2024. Here is my thoughts on LimeWire, an AI category, and I think the AI tokens will do well. What do I think with this chart? Using my Fibonacci extension method, our zeros there, and sure enough the 1.618 was the target when it went up there. So what we had is a reaccumulation structure of some sort. This probably might get a resistance here on the golden ratio and just range a bit before it breaks up to the upside. So we can have that potential up to that level, the 6.8, and then pull back as well. We have our daily levels, and I haven't gone through all of it. So that is a daily level when we look at it, and I'll make a match the 6.8. Obviously, the golden ratio is another daily level there, so that's perfect. And you can see along the way, it's confluent as a major daily level. So let's just do that for a sec. From a Fibonacci perspective, this is what I did with a Fib extension. So if this is a wave 1, 2, 2 to 3, pull back, 4, and then potentially another 5. So the 2 to 3 is a strong move, but a big accumulation of structure in a way. So 5 could be really extended. So how can we do this? Well, let's look at the bottom. Look at the top. Probably we'll make this equal there. So that might make the 6.8. Just with some assumptions. So let's do this with these assumptions. At the golden ratio. And a few more fibs. 76 cents probably is the next target after it breaks out this structure. I do feel like this is going to be a trend line potentially for resistance. However, I could be wrong. So that is, from a Wyckoff perspective, that's our base. That's our buying climax. That's our secondary test. And it's either going to be a 1, 2, 3 type of move, or we range in this structure and probably do that, or come down further and then do that. Time will tell, but it's too early to gather what's going to take place. So from a trading perspective, we're looking for an entry. That's a nice one, double bottom. That was a nice move, and I missed that. Whoops. We got our double bottom, W. So we think that might actually play out a measured move, the minimum. So if that's our measured move, the minimum is there. So let's just put that trend line along there. Okay, give or take a bit. Liquidity is there. So let's have a look at it from a close-up. We have liquidity in a number of areas. It's been taken out just now. So that liquidity just got taken out. Might pull back. No trade yet. Let's look at it on the smaller time frame after this. But I do feel if we do this, bring it up to there, and I'll put our golden ratio template. You can see that could be a resistance. Let's just, okay, we are not on log. Okay, we're just on regular. Okay. So I do feel that this should break and go further up past this. Let's see from a non-log perspective. A log perspective. Could change things around a bit. You can see how that looks. A bit more sharper. Less range. And so what we have is our base. Didn't take out the bottom. So we've got higher lows. And I think it will maintain it. If this was to break this level, I'll be looking for the golden ratio. and we can just pretty much say, okay, if it falls down, look for that entry there, and then back up again, and then we can adjust this trend line. At the moment, I feel like it should break up more. We've got the daily there. Let's have a look. Where's the weekly? We didn't do the weekly. So the weekly matches the daily there. So we can say weekly level as well. So that's going to be a strong level to break, and that's another weekly level. Do we have a monthly? Okay, so we've broken the monthly level there. That's pretty bullish. And obviously the monthly wick. I tend to make it dashed or dotted. Go back to our daily. No trade for us. There's some liquidity all the way here, so the shorts were coming down. So this level makes sense to me as a strong resistance here. So all this liquidity has been taken out, but we've got more to take up, and we've got a lot of longs coming in. Nice longs, so that is a good move. That was a nice candle. Missed that, and there's no entry for us now, but I am bullish on this token. If it pulls back, takes out the liquidity below this, we'll look for the 618, and it's a daily level here, so that might be the level that we look for entry, and then back up again. Here is the Fibonacci one, so we might actually hit that, and then further up to 94 cents, probably all the way up. So if this is our Elliott wave count, that's our 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're looking for a real extended 5, because this 2 to 3 is not that extended, so this could be a really extended one. And we watch out for these 2 fib levels. For the time being, we just need to sit and wait and see what takes place. If we use the body of the candles, that might be just an entry. So let's see how that takes place. And then we use a wicks and just push it up like that, and yeah, the golden ratio might just pull back. So for the time being, it's a range. I'll just sit tight and wait, but I'm looking for my entry for long, and I do feel this is going to go high, and leave it at that. But that definitely looks like a triangle of some sort at this point. That even matches that, so that'll be a nice entry right there. Got a reference, second point, that could be our third. So if it does drop, that'll be a nice level to enter. It's on the monthly level as well, and the daily. So and we've got the Fibonacci. It just really depends where the pullback is. All right, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I hope that helps you for looking for the next trade. Bitcoin has come so far and how we played it out. As a group, on our forum, we talked about sweeps to the low and the bottoms. I had this perfectly measured, and in our forum we made the long call, which is a SFP setup or failed auction, and the liquidity was pretty much clear here. If you looked at my previous videos, we had this setup. So if we were to bring out posts and just a quick look at that, it was actually on the free channel for non-paying members. We posted this. If you can have a quick look, we said this would likely drop. Our area of interest was this low, below these liquidity levels. And let's bring it up close, I suppose. This is our expected move, liquidity levels. Below that, sweep to the 618, weekly levels, and then back up again. So that played out perfectly. And we even made the call afterwards as well. So, and we also looked at it from another point of view, which was here into the 10 and 20 moving ribbon average, the weekly. We had two levels also, potentially if that didn't hold further down. But as you can see, it played out. So let's have a look at it here. We said, there we go. And go long if it regains this level. So we came late onto the scene because it was early in the morning. And basically said go long if it breaks this level. But ideally, it was the swing failure pattern. I wasn't awake for that. But I still went long. And we talked about potential developments further down or swing from here. And it played out perfectly. So here we go. Where are we with this? If you look at the chart, so we have our level there. It was our liquidity level in the previous. It was the previous weekly. It's all gone now. So, but it's still, we leave it there as a point of reference. So you had those. That was a shorting position, but we were confident that this would accumulate below resistance here and then break up to the upside. I thought it will actually go stronger than this. Just take out this level here and then look for an entry to short. So we haven't entered the short, still long. And I think this will hold and then break to the upside. We're also aware of this trend line as well. Is there a level of significance? We'll use these 3 points. I think it will. It's likely to actually act like a pivot. And what I mean by that pivot, if this goes sideways continuously, then it could drop or go further up. If it drops, I'll be looking for further lows, and we'll talk about that later. But I am looking for more highs, especially this level here of liquidity. Where do we get that liquidity from? From our heat map, actually. Let's have a look at our heat map. And there's a lot of liquidity there from this heat map. We didn't quite tap it. So I'm looking, so this was an old chart. I thought it might go up and grab it. So now we're looking for it from that perspective. This was our play move. And so far it's taken place. If this was to drop, we'll be looking for this type of scenario. So we've got a few scenarios and a few levels, if you can see. Yep. And then if we were to lose this level, I'm looking for further downs. There is no liquidity on this heat map, not really. So what we do is we go back to our original chart, and we look for points of reference in there. Here's a scenario that I just paid attention to. If you take this short, which I'm not interested in, but it's validated now. We've got the daily and weekly level that we just lost. If we close this on the hourly below it, it's likely to drop further. And then here's the next value levels, daily. So it's a real hard area to trade. You could just easily go do that, especially with this trend line now that we've got 3 points. So it might just come down to this level. Before I was talking about a few scenarios, and it's been probably half a day, so I'm just continuing on with Bitcoin at the moment. I'm still bullish and I'm looking for more highs. We've got our levels, and I'm just going to get that out. We've got our levels, key levels. We've got our daily level, we've got this level, and then we've got this other level, and ultimately this one here. Now there's not much confluence for these levels to be resistance, except for this one here, prior all volume area high. So this one is a key level. So I'm thinking there might be, we're still in the range. If we take that top, I do believe we'll come back down, but the question is how far down we go. We might just range in this quadrant, or we'll come down further and maybe take that bottom, maybe even come down to here. But I don't see it coming down much, to tell the truth. the way that this is behaving, it looks bullish, and it's just a reaccumulation type of structure. It wouldn't surprise me that we come back here again and just take slightly lower, or even just a double bottom. And so what you have is this 1, 2, 3, and then potentially up. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for this level, or this level of interest. And if it breaks those, and it can, you could probably just use that as a support, and then just go for these levels up here. So it's very bullish. However, this is a key level, so I do feel like this will come back down, and might get some weakness before we come back down here, take some liquidity, and then back up again. So I'll be looking for these levels if they were to come back down. But for now, I am bullish. I'm looking for this scenario up. Next one. Now, there's another thing that we'll need to talk about, which is the weekly level. Let's just have a look at the weekly level. So here's our weekly level there, the previous high. That's a high right there. We'll put out weekly, because it's the wicks, we'll make it dotted, and then let's have a look at it. It's very possible that this weekly could close below this here, because it did it there as well. So when price came down, it found support on this level. So that's going to be a key support if we find price to come back down, which is about 46,000. So historically, price came down, found a lot of support here, and then went up and found this weekly level of resistance. So it wouldn't surprise me that the weekly closes below that, just like it did over there. So let's have a closer look. Okay, where is it? As you can see, we did close, actually we closed slightly above it, but it wouldn't surprise me that this closes below it. If it closes above it, then we're looking for further highs. All right, so let's have a closer look. We'll go to the 4 hour. So here's our weekly level. Just make it clear. If we close below below it, it might be a slight bit bearish, and then we'll look for further liquidity pulls further down. One way of measuring that is if it doesn't go past that level, we might assume that that is our golden ratio here. Now we've got our Fibonacci. So this is, I'm making an assumption that was a golden ratio for support. If we don't go above this level and take out those tops, which is more likely to happen, by the way, if we don't, if we get another rejection and then it just goes down, then that is our golden ratio pocket with the assumption. Therefore, the Fibonacci 1 is here, actually. Interesting enough. Where is it? Where's our 1? Here we go. There's 1 there. All right. So we might just head for the 1, which is our next level, which is confluent there. And then we might just start this long-term accumulation. I don't think we'll go further down, but it doesn't surprise me that can happen. And our base is, guess what, on the 1.618. So it's very possible that we'll come back down here. So that's our buying climax, double top, find that, and we can potentially look for these levels for another long. And I don't know, some type of wedge. If this comes down here like that, then we might have a reversal structure of some sort before we make to the high. What will initiate that is the weekly closing below it. So if we close below that level on the weekly, if this candle was to close below it of that weekly, then there's more of a chance that we might come back down. However, we might get that little wick to the top first. Yeah, interesting time. Look at here, by the way. We had this before. We were talking about some time back that the gap, CME gap, and we said it's got liquidity. Look at that. From there to there, the fake out, and then back up again on the weekly. So if we look on the 3-day, look at that. That was a CME gap. Sometimes it does work. Now here's my main supporting trend line. So if price was to go below that, then I'll start looking bearish for the short term. In other words, more ranging. So if we were to come down after we hit that level, one of these levels here or there, and we come down, I'll be looking for this moving average to be our support. So again, that's our yearly top. So that's a key level as well. So I have that scenario as well. Just giving the reasons why it can happen. We can spike and then come back down and then further up. Just what the alts are doing, and these moving averages are pretty good. Scenario two, we take out the daily or the previous value high, and then we drop down significantly, and then we come down to here, a scenario where we take out the liquidity just below that. Then we could get a bounce. Because this is a hard drop, we get a bounce here, we get interest to buying, because this is our monthly level and our MPOC, so this is a significant level, and we get a reversal structure of some sort, and then we go back up again. All right, pretty much taking out all the liquidity that's been going along here all the way through. So this trend line could be the initiator to look bearish. If it breaks straight through, look for coming down harder and much more. Might get a bit of support here, or we just go through it straight away, and therefore we look for a further down. So we've got to look for the trading opportunities once we get those key levels for shorting, and be mindful of that. Let's look at another scenario. Now, continuing on with the channel that we had, this macro channel, you can see why this is a struggle to break past that level. So if we did get a pullback, you can see what happened last time. It pulls back to the moving averages and then finds some sideways before we break to the upside. I don't think that will be the case. I think this will come down to these moving averages, and if it breaks below those moving averages, then this is what we got. Now, we've got a fair value gap here as well. So the fair value gap is all here. So it wouldn't surprise me that once we grab that, if we lose that channel, top of the channel, we're likely to keep coming down. And as we said, we can probably get a support there. It is a key level, previous resistance, so we can probably go further up, but there is that chance that we might come back down again and come to the golden ratio, where we use this as a reference to the top. So this golden ratio pocket has a lot of confluence with this neckline, and then we see, and the middle of the channel, as we can see, and then we go further up, taking out all that liquidity as well, and the whales will love that. So we've got to be mindful of that. So again, a good shorting opportunity should come, and as it drops, you can probably add more if that scenario appears. What will give us that bearish scenario? Once it hits that level and it drops quickly past this stage, if it goes through it quickly, then we've got to be bearish, and then look for either this level or this level here, the middle of the channel. Depends how it comes down, really. So I've got my two levels to go along and really pile it up and then back up again. So that's what I'm looking at as coming down. The bullish side is that we go to this monthly as well. There's no reason why we can't keep going up and up as well, and then pull back to these levels for support and potentially go back up again. It's going to be a wild ride trying to figure out what to do. If you hodl, great. If you want to trade the levels like we've set it out here, we do share these levels in our channel, and so from time to time, if you do a search, you'll get a copy of this, and keep updating it. So that's one of those favors that we do for people that join our channel. We put the hard work for these levels, and yeah, it makes a difference. Just on a side note, have a look at if you wonder if these levels make any difference or have a significant contribution. They do. They really do. And there is evidence on my TradingView post have a look at that. I'll just pop it up here for a sec. So if you come down on my TradingView channel, got a number of followers, pretty good. Here, this one, evidence of preparation for BTC. All right. If you look at this, and if I just play this forward, watch how now these are all the levels that we've done. So this is a 30-minute chart, but we've done all the preparational work there, right? Now just watch how this. If you just play it forward, you'll see how all these levels come into fruition, become key levels. So we just click on them forward, and you'll see that all those levels are respected. You can see resistance, support, resistance, and you can see how that just continues on. There we go. Look, resistance, liquidity, pulls back. So these are all level trading. And then we'll continue on again. Resistance. I think we're close to where we are today. Look at that. That was the last entry there. We talked about that. Perfect swing failure pattern. So you would have been up a few percent, 5% maybe. And that's it there for now. So it's up to date. So you can see, we'll probably forgot to put something there as well. But this level trading, swing failure patterns, a real strong method. You can trade along the way. With macro bullish, so you got your HODL portfolio, but you got your trading portfolio as well. And that's what we do here at Trade to Prosper. So I thought I'd just share that as well. Back to where we are now. So we've got all these levels, and we're looking for key levels of swing failure patterns. And if you stay on the journey with us, you'll get to pick up some tips on how to enter those trades. Right now, we're looking for the range, and I think we had it here. Let's go on to a 4-hour. So we're in a range here. Get rid of that for a sec. The top's there. Let's just put that in maybe a different color, blue. There we go. That's the middle of the channel, and you can see how it works out. That's a 50% level. So it's just simplicity. If this was to break up to the upside, pull back down, it's likely to come pull back down. Might find a double top, whatever the case may be. We still want to trade the range, get a few percent. You will see that the middle of the range has a lot of confluence or support. If we lose this half, then we'll look for the bottom. So we're looking for the end game. End game there, end game there, and therefore we're looking for end game until it is no longer in the range. So it's either going to break to the downside or break to the upside. And at this point, we are favoring the upside like that. If there's a pullback up, I think it will just go up straight from there. Might stay slightly in this pocket for a while, range, and then break to the upside. For the small trades that if you're looking at. Still macro bullish. And therefore we're still looking for these levels of confluence. Yep. AI. We had this harmonic, and when can you go bullish? Well, when it breaks these moving averages. So you can see how the moving averages were acting as resistance. So that was a good play. If you did see that, that would have been a nice opportunity. I did not see that for an entry. I didn't see the chart, but I also missed out on here as well. So still holding along. In the terms of short term, what are the targets? Well, we hit our first target, which is 1. This is based on fib extension of this harmonic. 1, 1.272, 1.414, and 1.618. In conjunction, if you look at that and look at other macro levels, so let's just put those out there. Let's go on the daily. We can see that this was a nice bump and run strategy. So it broke the moving averages and then used those moving averages as support along with this macro trend line. So back test up. So it was a significant test and anyway, did the job. Is it a trading strategy? Yes, it is. It is a trading strategy. Whoops. How come that didn't disappear? Okay, daily. Now what we're looking for on this is a continuation pattern. That was a corrective wave, and this is like a reaccumulation. It's heading into resistance, a significant resistance. So the 1.618, like I said from the harmonic, does play out pretty well. So I'm looking for potentially just taking out some liquidity out from this previous high and then pull back in. Here we have the 618. So we might just get that entry, previous resistance as well. So we'll see that happening if there was a pullback there. Otherwise, we see it to go further up. It could be a very strong move because this is a strong move. Bull flag, strong move potentially, just like here. So I am bullish. We have two scenarios: one reaccumulation before the breakout, or just a 1, 2, 3 type of thing. And these are the targets that we have from the previous height. These are the short-term goals. That's pretty much what I have with Fetcher AI. Finding an entry now is difficult, so we probably want to see a pullback. And let's look at it closely again on the 1 hour. There is no, it's an uptrend. Like I said, this is likely to pull back potentially. And if Bitcoin drops, well, then this might just do the same. But I'm looking for higher Bitcoin, and therefore we're probably looking for higher fetch, just something like that. Weekly level, monthly level. These levels are going to be resistance. So we might just come back down here before finding another range and then break up to the upside. Moving on to AGIX, another singularity. And I think we've already covered this one. What else we have? Ethereum. Let's have a look at quick Ethereum. We had this macro trend line breakout, nice, and then a strong move to the upside. We have liquidity levels up here, very similar to Bitcoin, and we have our 3000 number. Point of control is there, so that's the target, I think, higher time frame. So we're looking at 3000 to 3047, and so I'm looking for the highs and then potentially a bit of a pullback, maybe here to the weekly level, 2700, or further down. If it's got, I can't see it coming down all the way, but if there is, that's one. Liquidity is here, so that could be another. And we've got a number of levels, so can't guess. However, this still could keep going to this level here. We've got the 618 and this level here as well. And you can see where that is. So we're bullish. Ethereum bullish. ETF's coming, potentially. And that narrative is going to pretty much push Ethereum much more than Bitcoin, I think. So let's have a look at Ethereum and Bitcoin as the last one. Here we go. So Ethereum is gaining ground. We're looking at this RSI to probably help us out. Across the moving averages, this is a 2-day chart. We might just outperform Bitcoin. It's very hard to know. Could do that. Just we have this moving average as a main resistance. This is maybe a reversal. Longer than I expected, because I did speak about it in the past like that. It's a range, and that range is not a confident pattern to go reversal, but it might be a reversal. But we can also look at it like that as well. I'm still thinking previous low. Oh, we did take that out actually. There we go. So it's a difficult one. At the moment, not confident enough to say we're going to keep going. I still see this as a resistance, so we might just tap it very much like this and then pull back and then see what happens again. But maybe that's one phase, and that was a fake out. This is another phase, and then potentially. So I think we'll still be sideways for a while, and then maybe a breakout. The second breakout, I think, will keep going, or we go down further. Really depends on what Bitcoin does and the ETF for Ethereum. I'm going to wrap it up on that. Please give me a like and share. I'll talk to you soon.
There you have it. Please give Sam a like, share, and subscribe to his channel to support him for doing more of these posts.